it's possible, uh, precisely because the president now is Marcos Jr. And unfortunately, many in the House and the Senate, there's a supermajority of the administration, and they might feel, even without any pressure, they might feel that they need to do this for the president and his family, which is a mistake. The Movement Against Disinformation is allied with Karma on this, on opposing this abolition, precisely because it creates a conflict of interest on the part of the Marcos family. In the very beginning, there was, we know that corruption was not limited to Ferdinand Marcos Sr. and was not limited to pre-1986. We've had so much of that. But in fact, there are other agencies that are taking care of this, especially the Ombudsman is taking care of that. The reason why, and this is why the Supreme Court also upheld the validity of the executive order that Cory issued to create the PCG. It was a unique moment. It was a unique situation. It was massive plunder and corruption by Ferdinand Marcos Sr., who was president for more than a decade, including many years under a dictatorship under martial law. So that's the difference. The same thing can not be said of the corruption done, let's say, in the PDAF scandal, in other scandals we've seen over the last 20 years. So that's what justified the PCGG at that particular time, and that's why it's justified to stay on, because there's a lot of wealth still out there. There's lots of pending cases out there. If you transfer all of that to the DOJ or the Ombudsman, those agencies would be burdened, and then they won't be able to do their other work. So, and vice versa, if you actually put the work of Ombudsman or DOJ to PCGG, other than the Marcos, none of that will get done.
Now, Dean, the argument of those either pushing to abolish the PCGG or to expand its functions is that after 36 years, you won't be able to find more ill-gotten wealth or file new cases. PCGG Chair John Agbayani on Wednesday said that he's not expecting new cases to be filed. And you have Representative Rodriguez saying that the PCGG should have been able to finish recovering ill-gotten wealth by now. What are your thoughts on these views?
They should have actually finished this quite a while ago. It's an indictment on our justice system and our accountability system, right? I mean, and they should have done that. But the reality is that there's still several big things that are pending in the Supreme Court, in the Sandigan Bayan, in the investigative functions of the PCGG. It might not be new wealth. In fact, it's old wealth. But that old wealth has doubled, tripled, quadrupled in value, right? It's not trivial. More important, Mike, for me, when you abolish an agency as critical as this, it's very important to do it systematically, to do it deliberately. That's why I'm saying, if PCGG Agbayani, who knows this better than me, the caseload says 7 years, then by all means extend it to 7 years. Maybe a little bit more, 10 years. No, it might actually be good. As I said, certainly PCGG's lifetime should not extend beyond 50 years after EDSA. Yes, it's just really too much to do that. I mean, so that's what I think is more rational, right? I mean, we can say that, okay, it's time to wind up the affairs, but there's enough in the affairs to make it go on for another, and that's arbitrary at 10 years. It can be 5 years, it can be 7 years. I mean, but there needs to be a clear closure of the work.